And here we are, part 11. Excuse me. I think what I'm going to do now is kind of do some, excuse me, some fixing up of the model, and then we will be just about done with the modeling stage. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this belly button. That's not really necessary. I'm going to merge all those together. Alt-M, center. And just go ahead and bring it in. There we go. And you know what, I'm going to just go ahead and merge it down to that one. There we go. Kind of got some weird geometry going on there now. Let's go ahead and just... see what happens. Let's just delete these faces. Bring this up. Go ahead and merge it with that. And bring these guys in all the way. And then just select all these guys, create a face. There we go. Alright, that's better. I think what I'm going to do with this guy is I'm going to kind of make him into like a superhero. So I want to, he's kind of wearing like a skin-tight suit, as you know most superheroes do. So a few adjustments that I'd like to make. I'd like to make his hands bigger along with his feet, give him more of a definite cartoonish feel. That might be too big. There's a weird crease going on right here. Let's move this out here. Let's see if I bring the forearm a little shorter. Let's bring that elbow in some more. Maybe the hands are a little bit too big. Let's just make them a little bit smaller. And make their wrist a little smaller too. Okay, I guess that'll work. Okay, go ahead down to the feet. Make those a little larger also. Deselect everything. Okay. Whoa, too long now. Let's make them a little come in some. There we go. How's that looking? Now his ankles look a little weird. Let's get that fixed up. It's coming in right there. That's a problem. That ankle bone that I made is kind of causing some problems there. Okay. I think his arms are a little too short now. Forgive my indecisiveness. Sometimes I totally rework characters when I'm working on them normally, so I'm trying to get this one done pretty quickly. So as indecisive as I'm being now, you should see me when I'm working on something different. Anyways, okay, I think that will work. Okay, I guess we're about done with the main modeling of the character. Any more tweaks I'd like to do? I think that'll look all right. Let's go ahead and make this face a little more squared off, not quite so rounded. Give him a nice jawline if we can. So we all know superheroes have nice jaw lines. How's that looking? That looks a little better. Bring his cheeks in just a little bit. I think his eyes are a little too big, so I'm going to just grab all these in the eye area. Is that all of them? Yeah, just kind of scale it down a little bit. Move it in some. Let's grab those eyeballs themselves, scale those down too. Move them in. Same with that, you just delete that one. So they're exactly the same. Go into wireframe view, just hit Z, and I'm going to shift D to duplicate it, and I'm going to drag it along the x-axis and try to get it fairly pretty even with the about the same placement as the other one. And now it looks like they need to come forward some. I'm still in view. Still in view orientation, so I want to go to global. Move them. There we go. Maybe up a little bit. There we go. Looks like this one might be a little too far. Kind of coming through the eyelid over there. There we go. And same over here. Okay. Too much. Okay. And he's kind of got a weird lump on his nose there. Now I'll go ahead and fix that. Okay. I guess that'll work for the head. We'll add some hair later, and that will help out also. Okay. So, since he's a superhero, I'm going to make a few more tweaks real quick. Actually, let me grab my sculpt tool. Smooth. Sharpen up that brow just a little bit. It's a little too curved for my taste. It's a little better. Let's bring it down some. What do you say? Got a Martian Manhunter type of thing going on. If you know who that is, it's a character from DC Comics. It's a green alien guy from Mars. He's Martian. He's got a really huge brow. So that's not the look I'm going for, even though Martian Manhunter also is a superhero. That's not what I'm going for. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and save this. And now I'm going to start working on a few clothing items. We won't need much since he's wearing a skin-tight suit. So what we'll need is just some pair of boots, maybe a belt, and some kind of sleeve cuff or some type of bracelet or something around his wrist to separate his hand from the rest of his arm. So, and then something to go around his neck like a collar. So, okay, first off, let's make those boots, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to, I guess I can make it part of the same model. Yeah, that'll be easier when it comes to texture, I guess. So I just want to select all these guys, and I'm going to Shift D, duplicate them out, just drag them over to the side, straight out. You noticed I let it go back and then I just dragged it out because I was wanting to drag it out perfectly on the x-axis, so it still lined up perfectly when I put it back on. So now I'm going to, let's see if this will work. Sometimes it doesn't work like I'd like, but I'm just going to hit E to extrude, and that's going to extrude every plane in this little area here. But I don't want to take it anywhere, so I just click out, and I'm going to scale it. Hit S to scale, and it's going to kind of make a, well, like a sock or a boot. And it's not completely perfect. As you can see up here around the shin area of the boot, it's kind of going through itself. So I'll kind of do this in segments. Get the bottom part ready. Looks like it's set up pretty well. You can see the underlying inside of the boot there, and it looks like it's perfectly fine inside the outside. So I'm going to go ahead, B twice, and I'm Alt down and deselect all of this because it's where it needs to be. And a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to scale this up a little bit too. Scale it down on the Z-axis. A little bit further. There we go. Just scale it up again now. Alright, how's that looking? Yeah, that's not too bad. I just need to straighten up the back of it here. So grab this guy and its corresponding inside part. And likewise with that one and that one. Set it. No. There we go. Okay, so that's his boot. Let's kind of stylize it a little bit. Bring it up. Oops, wrong piece. There we go. Bring that toe up, maybe has steel-toed boots on or something like that. Combat boots. Maybe we'll make him like a militaristic type of superhero. Maybe he'll have like a G.I. Joe somehow or something like that. There's some weirdness going on around the back of the boot right there above the heel. Grab that and bring it back. One thing with doing your clothes as part of your model, when you go to rig, you won't have to do it twice. You won't have to rig for the separate models. You can just do it all with the one. Let's see. Nope, I want my faces. There we go. Polygons. Alright. And go ahead and just grab the edges here and see if I can't select that loop. No. This one. There we are. Okay. And a quick trick. Sometimes if you let me illustrate this. Sometimes if you're doing like I just did, you select some faces and you need just some edges that you want to add to those faces that are selected. You select the edges and then you go back to face mode. It deselects what you had. So I'm going to undo that. So if you go to vertex select it selects it all. So just a little tidbit of information I've found out over the years. Okay, I just extruded, drug it down a little bit so we'll have a little bit flatter surface for the bottom of the boot. And then I scaled it 0% on the z-axis. Now you can see the flat sole of the boot. And let's see if I can't kind of give a separation between the sole and the shoe. Grab that loop. Okay. Drag it down a little bit. And I'm going to turn on the edges, and I'm going to, wrong button, W, bevel. I'm going to bevel that just a little bit. My mouse was offset some. There we go. Try to get pretty close. And now, Alt Control and clicked on this, and it selected all the vertical ones around it, as you can see, and it missed a couple, so I need to select that and that. And I'm going to W, subdivide, and select that loop, and scale it down. And there we go. A little too, let's see if we can clean this up. I think what happened here was when we beveled it, created an extra thing there, so I'll go ahead and just fix that. Let's see, where am I at here? Okay, redo these guys. There we go. And I'm going to clean these up right here. Yeah, these two, I guess. There we go. So now we got a nice separation between the sole and the shoe part. A little too much, maybe. Let's scale it up a little bit. And rotate it down some. And we'll select this line, rotate it up so it's a little more separated from the front. And there we go. Decent boot. Okay, so now just grab one of the vertices, Control L. It's going to select all of them. Drag it directly on the x-axis again, back over the foot. And it should be lined up perfectly that way. Let's go back in the front view. And we can kind of line up the inside, because I didn't change it. You can line it up with the... It's kind of hard to see. I'll zoom in real good for you. So you kind of see that the barely visible yellow is the inside of the boot, so I can just line it up with the dark lines, which are the unselected foot model. So now it should be perfectly lined up. So now just deselect out, get out of edit mode, and now he's wearing a nice pair of boots. There we go. Good save. Okay. Now let's make him a belt real quick. Let's see how we're gonna do that. Let's select. Is that too high up for a belt? No, let's see. I guess that'll be fine. And we'll do the same thing. Shift D, create a separate mesh, scale it up. And I'm not gonna move it over to the side this time, because there's only one of them and it's stuck in the middle, so I'll just keep it there. And had some weirdness in the geometry going up the back, so I'll just grab it and fix it up. Okay, now we've got a belt that's going around him. You know what? Control L, select all the belt. I'm going to drag it down some so it's not so high. And I need to fix it on the back now. I'm going to drag it back a little bit. And deselect these guys because they're okay. And drag these guys out. Go ahead and get rid of that one too. And that should be fine. Okay, how's that? A little bit. That guy needs to come back. Okay, how's that? That'll work. Okay. Now, same thing with the boots. Grab everything. And I'm going to hit E to extrude. And I'm going to scale it up some. Actually, you know what? I'm going to scale this one down so it matches up with his body. And there we go. A form-fitting belt. Looks like I need to adjust the form a little bit right here. Just grab that whole loop. There we go. Just drag it towards the body a little bit till it merges with it, more or less. And let's fix the bottom of it up here. Actually, it's this side, I guess. This one, oops. And drag it forward some. Oops. There we go. And let's fix the top of it while we're at it. Select the right vertices. There we go. Okay. And it's a little too rounded to be a good belt, so I'm going to grab Alt-Control and click on that. I'll do the same thing around the bottom. I think I'm going to have to Alt-Control-Shift. Click. There we go. I've got all the edges along the top and bottom, so I'm going to W subdivide those. And now I'm going to select that new subdivision. Scale along the Z-axis. And it'll kind of square that off just a little bit better. And I'm going to go ahead and Control R, add a loop. Looks like that's one added on the body. I just want it on the belt, so I just come out to the side. Okay. And let's go ahead and add another one down towards the bottom. The closer the edges are together, the sharper the corner is going to be. So now that I have those two on there, I can grab that subdivision that I made earlier along the top and bottom. If I can select it, there we go. And go ahead and scale it back on the Z-axis a little bit. Scale on the Z-axis. There we go. Now, nice thick belt. It's coming up a little bit over here. And here as well. And let's make it a little taller in the back. Probably adding more detail than there needs to be, but anything worth doing is worth doing well. Okay, go ahead and unselect those. How's that? Okay, that'll work. Now, front view, back in edit mode, I'm going to click over here somewhere. That'll work. I'm going to add a circle. Don't need 32 vertices in it. 12 will work. And I don't want one radius, that'll be too big, so I'm going to put 0.25. And I want to fill it. There we go. And I'm going to rotate it now until the middle edges are perfectly up and down. So I can delete these guys, if it'll let me. Delete the vertices. Okay. this is going to be the belt buckle. Let's get a little more along the x-axis to make it more of a oval shape. Extrude it a little bit towards the back and grab the edge of it, and I'm going to subdivide it multi. I'm going to do it twice, and now we have a nice thicker edge. Scale that so it's a little sharper. Okay. Now I need to get rid of the polygons that it created here along the inside. Okay, now I can grab all this, drag it over till it meets in the middle, bank, and now drag it back and rotate it and stick it on the belt. There we go. So he's got boots and a belt now. He's moving on up in the superhero costume world. And alas, I am at over my time limit for today, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. And in part 12, we will finish up with the costume accessories and maybe start getting ready to start texturing this guy. Okay, save it, and I'll see you in part 12.